Good morning, dear students. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and in this video, we are working on the course book of the Pure Maths 1. We are working on the exercise 2A. This is our third episode on this exercise. The chapter 2 is about functions. So, we are working on the question number 1 and its E part. Here we have a expression given y is equals to 10 by x, and they want us to find out that whether this is a function or it's not a function. If it's a function, what kind of function this is. So it's very simple. So first of all, I'm going to draw this graph. So I'm going to use my calculator. I will set this calculator into or like this, the other calculator I have to use. This one, the calculator which I just showed you, does not have this function. This calculator has this function. So I will press 7 and I will go, sorry, functions. When you press 7, you go into the tables, and then I have to enter the 10 and by, and here you have x. Okay, so I wrote the equation. So then equals to, he says starts from where. So I say, let's say starts from let's say I say -4, and then he will ask me when to end. I will say end at 5, and then what is the step 1, and this is the table. Now you can see the table is showing what is the value at -4, what is the value at -3, what is the value at -2, what is the value at -1. Okay, so we will plot this. Okay, error means that here the graph becomes infinite. I will show you how this is done. Okay, so at -4 it is -2.5. At -4 -2.5. At -4 it is -2.5. -2.5 will be here, 1 2 3 4 and 5. Okay, at -3 it is -3.3. 3.3 means 1 2 and 3. Okay, and at -2 the value is -5. -5 is here. At -1 the value is -10. The value is -10. At 0 it becomes infinite, so graph becomes vertical. And not, see, error means that at 0 the error means that the graph will become infinite. So this will go, so this is going to be like this. Here it will be infinite. Then at +1 it is 10. Start from here. And at 2 it is 5. And at 3 it is 3.33. 1 2 and 3. So, and at 4 it is 2.5. 2.5 is 1 2 3 4 5 approximately here. And at 5 it is 2. Okay, so the graph will be something like this. You see, when you draw graphs, you are supposed to draw them with a pencil, but I am working with the with a marker. Okay, so now we have to decide whether this is a function or it's not a function. So the method is easy. You will put your vertical test. You see where I put on different places, the graph is being touched only at one place, so it's a function. Yes, it's a function. So it is a function. Okay, and then I will do the horizontal test. You see, when I put this, the scale, I put my scale like this on the graph. The graph is being touched only at one point. So that means that the graph is one function. One function. So I hope you understand this question number 1 and its E part. This is our third episode on the exercise 2A, and this is how we decide whether it's a function, and if it's a function, then what kind of function this is. So now we are going to attempt exercise 2A, question number 1, and it's F part. In the F part, they say y is equal to 3x squared plus 4. X belongs to real numbers and x is greater than 0. Okay, so this is important. This thing is important, that x is greater than 0. We have to take the values of the x which are, greater than and equals to 0. Okay, so we will take those values which are greater than and equal to 0. So I will use my calculator, and you see the calculator must be set in the, so I will press this button. You see on the 7th number we have tables, so I will go into that mode. The equation is 3, and then you have pink button, then x square, then you have plus 4 equals to, okay, so start from the 0, and I will say end at the 5 and step 1. Okay, so this is the table which they have shown, so I hope you can see this. And okay, so here we go. So at 1 it is 7, at 1 it is 7. Okay, at 0 it is 4, this is the 4. At 2 it is 16, at 2 the graph is 16, and at 3 it is 31. So that will go out of our range of the graph. Okay, so the graph which I have drawn, so this graph will be something, okay, something like this. Okay, my curve is not that good, but they ask us to draw from the 0 and up to whatever you want, but I just draw the graph up to 15 on the y-axis. So this is enough. Okay, so now I have to decide whether this is a function or it's not a function. See, I will do the vertical test. So I will put my vertical scale. So the graph is only touched at one point when I put the vertical scale on different points. So that means it's a function. Yeah, that's a function. So it's a function. Okay, and then I will do the horizontal test. So when I put my horizontal scale on different places, the graph is only touched at one point. So it's a 1-1 function. It's a 1-1 function. So I hope that you understand this, how this graph is drawn, and how the question number 1 is F part is done. My name is Ferhan Mazher, and we are solving the course book of the Pure Maths 1. This is the paper 1 syllabus content of the Cambridge International ASA Levels Mathematics 9709. So I hope that this question and the function and the 1-1 function is clear to you. So, my dear students, now we are on the exercise 2A. Question number 1, it's G part. He says y is equals to under root x. X belongs from the real numbers, and the x is equals to and greater than 0. So, we have to plot this graph, and when you plot this graph, you have to we are going to plot this graph, and I have used my calculator to find out the values. From 0 to 25 I have set the x value, and at 0 you get 0. Important thing is, when you take the square root, the answer is positive and negative. Okay, at 0 the point is 0. At 1 it is 1. It's positive 1 as well as negative 1, because when you take the square root, you write positive negative with it. Calculator is not giving positive negative, but we know that this is the case. Okay, when the value is 2, x value is 2, the answer is 1.4. 1.4. So 1 2 3 4, it will approximately here, and negative as well, 1 2 3 and 4. Okay, at 4 it will be 2. Okay, and at At 9 it will be 3, positive 3 and negative 3 both. When you take square root, you with the answer you write positive and negative. Okay, so at 14 it will be 4, positive 4 and the negative 4 as well. So at 5 we have 2 point something. Okay, at I can say at 8 it is 2.8. At 8 2.8. Why I wrote here? At sorry, the 9 is here. This is 3. This is 3. This point is wrong. Okay. So the graph will be something like this. The graph is going like this, and this graph will be something like this. Okay, the graph shape is, you see, whenever you take square root, you write positive and negative. So the graph shape is something like this. Okay, so now we will apply we have to decide whether this is a function or it's not a function. So I will put my scale like this. You see, when I put this, I do this vertical test. Wherever I put my scale, the graph is being touched at 2 points. So that means this is not a function. So the G part, this is not a function. Because when I put my vertical scale, the graph is being touched at 2 points. Okay, so this is not a function. So this is how you will do question number 1, and its G part, y was equals to under root x. So whenever you take under root x, the answer always have a positive and a negative sign with it. The calculator was not giving the negatives, but you have to remember this concept. So I hope you understand the question number 1 and its G part. So my dear students, now we are working on the question number 1 and its H part. In the question number 1 and its H part, y square is equals to 4x, x belongs to real numbers, and we have to decide whether this is a real, it's a function or not. Okay, so y, when you take y, this will become under root of the 4x. So y will be equals to plus minus 2 under root x, and x belongs to real numbers. Okay, so when I will put 0 here, the answer will be 0. When I put 1 here, the answer will be plus minus 1. So it will be plus 1, and but when 1 will multiply with the 2, it will become 2. So it will be 2 and the 2. And when you put 4 here, so under root 4 will be 2, 2 2s are 4. So it will be positive 2 and minus 4. So when you put 9, it will be 3, 3 2s are 6. So it will be 6 at 9 and minus 6 as well. You see? And at 16, it will be 4. 4 multiplied 2 will be 8. So at 16, it will be 8 and negative 8. Because under root has positive and negative both signs. Okay? So now, this is wrong point. Okay, now the graph will be something like this. Okay, so this graph will be also something like this. Okay, so the graph shape is like this. Now we have to decide whether this is a function or it's not a function. So what we will do, we will put scale like this. You see, so the graph is being touched at 2 places, but because the graph is being touched at 2 places, so this is, I think, not a function. It's not a function. Okay, so very easy, because in the vertical test, the graph is being tied at two places, so this is not a function. So this is how we can find that if an expression is a function or not, and if it's a function, then it's a one function, or it's a many to one function. So thank you very much everyone for watching this video and taking your time. If you find this video interesting and useful and helpful, please like this video, please share the link of this video with your friends, with your class fellows, with everybody. So once again, thank you very much. Have a good day. God bless you all.